Hey guys, it is JQ Crafty with the Craft IQ June Challenge. Make sure, before I forget, make sure you check out everybody else who played along and participated in the hop this month. There's a lot of people who also participated and didn't go in the hop, but check out the page if you haven't been there, or the group on Facebook if you haven't been there yet. We have lots of fun. If this seems super complicated for you, don't worry. We've had some requests to make it a little bit simpler, so we will be doing that. But basically, essentially what it is we give a prompt every day for 7 days, the beginning of each month, of how to build your layout. And you can challenge yourself a little extra by building your layout as you go. So as you get the prompts, create your page. Or you can wait until you have everything and then it's treating it more like a recipe challenge. Either way, it's fun because a different person is giving you the prompt every day. And so it's changing it up every day, and not every person knows actually what's been given. Like, most of us who are giving the prompts also have no idea. So I showed you in the beginning, or there was a quick glimpse of it at least, of what the lists were for what you guys, what everybody needed to include on their page. I decided for some reason to do a double page layout. Well, I have a goal of trying to get certain things done, trying to finish up my son's, I have just a school album, so everything related to school is going in these albums. So I'm trying to get caught up. So I wanted to do a double page. I had a little sneak peek of kind of what was going to be happening this month, so I picked my photos accordingly. But what I am doing, our first piece or layer to this awesome June challenge, was to make sure you use a themed pattern paper that's not the theme of your layout as your background. And so it has to be covering at least half of your page. So I went ahead and grabbed this crepe paper, Valentine paper, because I thought hearts would kind of be equivalent for anything I make regarding my family, my son, my nieces, anybody, right? So I have these photos of my son during a winter program he had when he was in preschool, I believe. Yep, preschool. And just took a lot of photos of him because he did not participate at all. So layer one was that. So, and I did these videos live, and so there is a lot of kind of extra stuff. I tried to cut out as much as I can, but if you see me doing a lot of random hand waving, I apologize. But I am just adhering, since I decided to do a 2-page, I just cut that paper in half and adhering it on each half of this blue cardstock as well. I have this Color Play kit from the scrap room from a few years ago. This one's not too old. I want to say this one's 2018 or something like that. So it's not super old. The kit isn't, or the collection, but it was You're a Gem. And so it came with this beautiful blue cardstock. And now I was very aware that the blue and the heart paper did not match my cardstock, but I kind of try and bring that blue out a little more, and you'll see that here, and kind of connect the blues together. But I'm going to go ahead and trim down my photos. So day one was that. Just use a theme pattern paper that's not the theme of your layout as your background. It has to be at least on half of your page. And some people got super creative with it, and I get very proud of when I see what people can come up with. It's just fun to watch. So I'm just making my layout, kind of scattering my photos around. I decided I wanted to make kind of like a cluster of the 3 of them up on the upper right, and do this one and highlight it kind of down on the bottom. On the left page, I have 2 more just kind of group photos during that during the program, and then another close-up of him. And that was the point at which he turned around and just stared at us for a good 10 minutes during his program, because he did not want to be up there. So now day 2, or layer 2, was add a snowflake and at least 3 layers under your photos. So I'm going to go ahead and matte my photos. I did it in black first, and then I'm going to go ahead and matte them all in white again, and then a patterned paper. And I'm going to use some of those patterns that are in the You're a Gem collection by Color Play to bring in more of that turquoise over top of the heart paper. So some of it's going to get covered. I mean, say what you will about these. I really like them. The pages turned out really cute. That heart paper is kind of loud and in your face, but I don't think the blues are too mismatchy that you can't tell that they kind of go together. I think I did a good job. I think. So while I finish backing those, I will also tell you that when we do this awesome challenge, each month someone will get randomly chosen from the album. So if you are watching this and you participated in the hop and you haven't put your layout in the album yet, go do it, because there are only 6 of us that do the layers each month. So we grab somebody, a random person from that's also completed the previous one, to give an item or layer for the next month. So if you want to be chosen to put your spin on it, make sure you are putting your layout or your project in the album it belongs in. All right, so this is where I kind of cheated. So layer 2 was add a snowflake and the 3 layers. So I did the 3 layers. I knew ahead of time that she was thinking about doing snowflakes. I didn't know for sure, but she had mentioned possibly doing it. And so that is kind of why I went with some winter themed photos. But I went to my silhouette and I cut out from one of the Traveler's Notebook, or I think it was from a December daily page that Confessions of a Paper Addict had made cut file, and I cut out a bunch of snowflakes in one of the pattern papers. So then I bring in this brownish wood green with like a fun pattern on it. And that is what I cut my snowflakes out of. They turned out really good, and I love Color Play and Photoplay's paper. It's like a glossier, thicker paper. I really enjoy it a lot. So then I have snowflakes that I'm going to add. There they are on the cutting mat, and I'm going to add those around the page as well. Now, I was slightly gutsy during this round, because what we say is if, and I'm challenging myself, I make sure I try to scrapbook along with the prompts instead of waiting for all of them to be done. I do kind of do a hybrid. I did this time just because some things came up and I wasn't able to scrap the day that it was released or go live. And I won't be going live every month. Actually, these next few months I probably won't be able to. But I was gluing things down. And we suggest that if you're doing the scrap along, don't glue everything down, because things might get changed. Someone might decide that, hey, you have to have everything on the left side of your page, or hey, so you don't want to glue things down necessarily. But so I started gluing things down, and more the fact that my embellishments and things I started breaking out, because I figured whatever they throw at me, I can always just incorporate it in it. So I'm going through the embellishments that came in my little scrap room kit. And there's some good like chipboard pieces. I decided to use all of them. There was like an arrow or a couple arrows. There's some ephemera type pieces, another set of arrows, the word love, a star that says shine on, which I thought was perfect for this. And there was a cut apart sheet in one of the sheets, and so the one card says perfectly imperfect, and I thought that was perfect for this type of layout of my son not wanting to participate. So layer 3 was add a repeating row of elements, and layer 4 was add some stamping. So I did those 2 the same day. So I'm going ahead and using stamp, was it an LA Studio stamp, and some distressed oxide or distressed white picket fence, and going kind of a border on my pattern paper to add some stamping there. And then I did go ahead, that kind of counts as both because it's a row of repeating elements. But I did go ahead and take some Nuvo drops and go across a frame I also brought out from the ephemera pack, and just did some black Nuvo drops across the frame. I'm not really sure why I did the way I did, but it adds a little something to it, and it's fine. I'm just going to leave it that way. I'm not going to change anything about it. Let's see, now what? So, and then day 4 was add some stamping. I ended up doing some stamping later too, because day 5 or layer 5 is break out and use your die. So I ended up doing some stamping by stamping out some, I'm going to stamp out some labels and then die cut them. So that is how I'm going to be using my dies. So that is layer 5, and you will see that here right now. I was trying to decide, and I was doing this one live, so everybody was helping me decide what I wanted to do. So I did that, and I just stamped with I think it was Stormy Sea. I don't remember what color it was, but I did the blue that matched more of the hearts than it did the turquoise paper. So that way to bring that blue in. And then I used some of my LA Studio, my favorite little phrase stamps, and stamped some phrases within those labels. And that stamp set is all one set. The label are the tabs and the dies that go with it, and so it worked out really well. So I stamped a couple in the blue, and then I did the word favorite, real life, love this, and 100% awesome. And then I'm going to tuck those in around the page, and this is where I got a little even more gutsy, and everybody's like, what are you doing? And I started gluing things down, and what I did is, like, I was really liking how I had my photos and the little clusters that went on them, and I just wanted them all to be as one piece. So I was like, these things need to be on here, so I know I don't need to change them. So I decided just to glue those together, because that way if I need to add anything in my background or anything else, at least these are all moved as one item, and I didn't need to worry about changing anything about those. So then layer 6, which actually was mine, was use a pre-made title / word. I did that because I found that perfect card and include a pocket card on your page. So a pocket card or a cut apart card, because that's technically what mine was, all works. And so Perfectly Imperfect was my title, pre-made word. It's already on there. I didn't use thickers to create a word, or I didn't use dies to create a word. You could use a die that was already a word, but it had to be a word that was already set, not you creating whatever word you want. And then the very last layer is splatters and puffy stickers. And I didn't end up going live again for that, but I did do those off camera, and those are kind of coming up here. Well, not really off camera, just not live. I do want to say too, the stamping I did, you can see it a lot better in the close-ups. It is kind of hard to see from back here, but I went ahead and I splattered on just some Dina Wakley white acrylic spray and some of my old Glimmer Mists in like I think it's like canvas color. So it's like a khaki, but it gives kind of like a brownish, kind of bring more of that brown, that wood grain from the snowflakes, and then the chipboard pieces I have that are hanging out to bring that around. And now I'm going to put everything down in its place finally, because splatters and puffy stickers were layer 7. So I'm doing that, and then I have these Freckled Fawn puffy hearts, so I figured I would scatter some of those around, and then I am going to do some more black Nuvo drops in little clusters around as well. So I really hope you guys enjoyed the process. I really hope you're enjoying the challenge, and like I said, if you haven't joined in, link will be down below, and just make sure you go check out to see how everyone else interpreted the challenge. It was a lot of fun to see the different ideas, especially with that big challenge of using a themed paper for not the theme of your layout. Some people got really creative, and it got really, really testy for a little bit, but everybody was awesome sports. So make sure you go check that out, and we will check again next time. Thanks. Bye.